Welcome to another smooth jazz episode of CannaBase Radio Show. I'm your host, Johnny Chaos, and with me always is my co-host, Brian.
Oh yeah.
On today's episode, we're gonna talk about sniffing shrooms.
We're also gonna talk about a live groovy adaptation of Family Guy.
And we're also gonna rap about the Mandela Effect.
Oh yeah.
Sounds groovy to me. Let's get rolling with our first topic of the night. Sniffing shrooms.
Alright, and the voices are done. So,
Ding ding!
yeah, so what is it, the psilocybin that's inhaled and they've found a way that you can kind of microdose yourself with just sniffing, like inhaling a little spray?
Yeah, so a little bit of what I've been reading about it is that they've synthesized it into a spray, sort of like Flonase, whatever for like sinuses and shit. Basically, they're making every nasal shot like, I think it was something like 0.5% psilocybin within every shot. Which obviously, people are going to overuse it even though it's made for microdosing. They're going to sit there all day just trying to, get it up there. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, but I feel like, kind of like how with, the weed cartridges, that if you smoked a bowl or two in, back to back, you're going to feel high. And then with the cartridge, you can smoke on that cartridge, literally for a solid 2 hours, and you won't get the same high.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You're not going to be tripping balls on that nasal spray. I don't see...
No, I don't think you'd be able to take enough of it, really, to trip balls, because there's only so many shots in it. You know what I mean? Before it's like, okay, gotta get a new one. There's probably 20, 30 shots in it. Something like that.
Yeah.
And, it is specifically made for microdosing. I do think it's a great idea. You know what I mean? Because instead of you, eating the shrooms and then getting a stomach ache and, before you feel the effects and feel like you have to vomit or fucking shit your pants.
Also, not only that, but having to go through the process of eating goddamn shrooms, they are not easy.
I mean, I've been doing them more recently, testing the effects kind of, and it does work. I've said this before on other episodes. It helps with depression and anxiety, and it does cause anxiety for some people, but it's supposed to kind of help with the passageways in your brain, kind of communicating with each other. But ever since I've been microdosing, man, I felt 1,000 times better off of pretty much everything. But I've noticed the change between microdosing shrooms every couple of days versus not having it for a week. I feel the difference, but it's things aren't as bad as my mind made them seem, So
I did want to say, man, with microdosing, I don't know if it's different, but they straight up say you're supposed to give your mind at least a good 3 days in between doing. But that's I don't know if they're talking about eighths of shrooms.
So microdosing is like a shroom.
I know what microdosing is.
Versus popping an eighth every 3 days. An eighth is actually a lot for one person.
Really, yeah.
I've taken an eighth just the other night, and I watched it chapter 2, and it was fantastic. You know what I mean? I wasn't planning on getting that wrecked, but
yeah, I don't know, man.
Chapter 2 was a shroom trip in itself as a movie.
Dude.
But then it's while you're sitting there tripping, and then all the shit going on in the movie, you're I don't know if I'm actually tripping, if that's actually happening in the movie. It was intense, but I enjoyed it, But microdosing, especially like I was saying about the nasal spray, man, with it being a small dose, it's better to take it in through the nasal cavity because it's soaking in, through the nasal cavity versus having to go through your kidneys and your liver and, being processed through your body. So sniffing shrooms basically it bypasses that feeling when you take shrooms. But like I said, it's only for medicinal purposes anyway.
I've never thrown up shrooms, but I do know people that did. But bitches. No. But that's cool. So is it supposed to be a memory thing too, I think?
Yeah, it helps with your memory and everything, and that's the thing is people don't think about this is when you're depressed, when you're stressed out, when you're going through shit, and it's making the passageways in your brain just kind of shrivel up. That's what causes memory loss as well. And I've also noticed for myself because I do actually have memory loss from not recent, but brain injuries in the past and stuff like that. But now I'm starting to be able to remember a lot of different things, and it's easier for me to remember things. I do still forget quite often, but it's half and half. So,
I mean, I'm down to try it. Like, I'm not gonna buy a bottle, but if you came through with one or something, if somebody
and I was
knew
like,
about
hey,
it.
take a shot in your fucking nose, just
Yeah, but then again, I also don't know if this is kind of more like, oh, you're a pothead? Well, here's some CBD weed. It's not gonna do the same thing, but it'll help you.
Yeah, no, it's
I don't know if it's like that.
Yeah, because I had a friend's mom, man, that she was getting CBD from like a little smoke shop, not really knowing much about it, and she was like, I'm not feeling anything, it's not doing anything to me, and I'm like, that's CBD hemp oil, that's not really gonna do shit to you. I was like, you need to go to an actual dispensary and like get some shit. And she ended up going, she got the right CBD stuff for her, and they gave her a lot of information that
Cool.
They schooled her, helped her learn more about it. And the second she got it, I texted her and I was like, hey, did you ever get your CBD oil? Like, how are you feeling? And she was like, yeah, I got it. She goes, thank you for the info, for, telling me about going over there. And, Valley Pure went up, because I fucking tell everybody about that place. But, yeah, fucking, now that's where she goes to get all of her CBD stuff. And I'm like, cool, I helped somebody. So,
Does she specifically get it so that she doesn't get high too? Or does she get it
she gets it that has some THC in it because she does like feeling high, but it's mainly for pain management, But CBD doesn't work without THC, and not many people know that. Like, if you just have straight CBD, it doesn't really do much.
No, that's what I thought too. But then we were talking to Dr. Dank, and he was saying that some plants are grown without it though.
What do you mean? Without the THC?
Yeah.
Yeah, hemp.
So.
That's all grown CBD. But that's my point, is the management that she was looking for, she couldn't get that from straight hemp. Yeah,
she wanted weed.
Exactly. She needed that extra boost.
Marijuana.
Yeah, right? But she got it. And I'm happy for her, and she feels better about it, which is great. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
I like the way, I think we've said this before, but I love the way that people who've always had a steadfast against weed view and angle nowadays are changing for whatever reasons, like whether it's a relative who uses the CBD that helps them and shit. I love that, like, people are actually changing, like these prudes from back in the day, how it was looked at like cocaine and shit, when it's really like just everybody smokes it, relax. And also, I love it when conspiracy theories stop being conspiracy theories, and when everyone's all, it's got medical benefits, bruh. It does. It fucking does.
Always
it's
has.
not
Dude,
a fact or baked.
Dude,
this is not a myth.
Even back in the day, back in history, in the past, fucking before it was illegal and shit, it was used by doctors. It was used in hospitals. It was prescribed to people. You know what I mean? Like,
how far back are you talking?
I don't fucking know. I'm not good at history, man. But I do know that back in the day, marijuana was used as medicine. Not just in American culture, but Native Americans, fucking,
right.
Spain, Mexico, shit like that.
Check this out. The Romans, in their bathhouses, they used to just have a fat-ass coal fire thing, like fire pit in the middle, and they just threw stalks, like they just put plants of...
Yeah, herbs, everything.
Imagine the shitty-ass stress type weed that they probably had, because it's not been cultivated.
But to them, it's not like they really knew.
But they would put all of this on there, and it would make them all relaxed. They did kind of know what's up.
Yeah.
It's like hanging out naked with your fucking the whole city with your danglers out.
Yeah,
in the
it's like cutting your weed.
So fucking
it's like
weird.
cutting your weed with chamomile. You know what I mean? Like dry chamomile, just like fucking grinding that shit up all together and then smoking it.
Oh, that sounds so gross.
It does sound gross, but it actually works.
I love chamomile tea. But smoking that, I smell harsh.
I'm not saying like, oh, get yourself like a box of chamomile tea and then tear open the bag and like try to smoke what's in it. Don't do that.
Mix it with ground up weed, kids.
Yeah, no, that shit's made to be tea. You know what I mean? Like, if you actually grow chamomile and you take the leaves and you dry the leaves out and then you grind it all up with your weed and then you smoke it, it actually gives you an extra calming effect when you're smoking.
I'll drink a chamomile tea with my fucking blunt in the morning. Thank you.
No, I would too. You know what I mean? But
you have both sides of the extremes.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what? I'll cut my weed with a little bit of chamomile while I'm drinking some chamomile tea, while having a marijuana root soaking in it.
Okay, so I was going to ask, what about, isn't there ways, it's probably sucky in comparison, but mushroom teas, isn't that a thing too?
Mushroom teas are a thing. I hear it gives you a different type of...
It has to be weak.
Kind of...
Like a subtle high.
I've heard different things. It depends on how much you use when you're making it, how you make it, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, alright, look at it this way. It's like taking a bunch of weed, slow cooking it in a crock pot with oil, and making cannabis oil to use for edibles, right? So... Think about that with shrooms, okay? Same thing. You take the shrooms, you put them in a crock pot, you slowly let them slow cook, you know, let all the psilocybin come out and get into the oil, and then fucking put that shit in your food. Have a nice trip while you're eating.
By the way, if you guys lived under a rock and didn't know that mushrooms grow in shit, just imagine now making your little tea brothiness.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And you're just like, I can really taste the manure in this one.
Well, I would probably put like some other shit in it, like lavender or something, just to kind of make the flavor better, and not so much like cow shit.
You know that distinct taste that all mushrooms have?
Dude, I generally don't even like normal mushrooms. Like, edible, non-poisonous, whatever the hell kind of mushrooms. I don't like them. I don't want them in my food. I don't want them in my Philly cheesesteaks.
Just realized I was given an edible today.
Oh.
So, yeah. Once you were talking about cooking up some weed and some oil to make
absolutely.
edibles, I was like, oh shit, I remember
absolutely
now.
down to eat that.
Yeah, a little cookie action.
But, yeah. Fucking... I don't like shrooms, man. So what I've been doing... And I will tell you right now, from experimentation, if you're going to do shrooms and you want a hardcore shroom trip, take them, caps, take the stems, grind it all up together, then throw it in a blender with some orange juice and some strawberries and fucking a little bit of ice, you know? Fucking throw your shrooms in there with it. That shit turns it into powder, mixes everything in. You drink that bitch, and as it's hitting you, bro, ooh, because of the acidity from the strawberries and the vitamin C in the orange juice, and it being fine ground, dude, oh man, that to me is the best way to take shrooms. Because you can't taste it. The strawberries and the orange juice mask the taste. You know what I mean? Like
the true savage that I am. We've always just, you crunch them down like they were sunflower seeds without the actual kernel in it. It's just the shells that you gotta mash down. You feel like you're eating a matchbook, and then you swish it down with real like pulp and everything, orange juice, because the citrus is supposed to activate it faster while it's digesting, right? So that's how we've done it every single time, was just you toss them in your mouth, you chomp them down, and then drink some orange juice with it to go. I've had times where we didn't even have orange juice. We just had an actual orange or tangerine. So we would eat segments of the tangerine with the mushrooms in between your teeth. It is so gross, but...
I just couldn't do it, man. Like, there was a point where I was taking my shrooms and I was grinding them up and just putting it in a glass of orange juice and chugging it. But... it didn't help. I could still taste the shrooms. It made my orange juice taste like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I had to come up with a better plan. Because, like, the first time I ever did them, you know, and I've been skeptical about them for a really long time. I ended up taking and putting them on some White Castle burgers that I got out of the freezer aisle at grocery outlet. You know, fucking took them home, threw them in the microwave, and then I took the shrooms. Right after I took the burgers out of the microwave, I threw the ground shrooms right on top, smashed it shut, ate that bitch. Couldn't even taste the shrooms. The burger completely negated the taste.
Yeah, I feel like it would ruin those little White Castle burgers that I love.
You would think, but you couldn't taste the shrooms at all. It just tasted like a White Castle.
All right, you know what it is time for? It's time to twist up a joint.
You know what? That's a great idea.
You want to put in a little on this?
I got a tiny bit right here.
Just a joint, so a little nugular will work.
Yep. Got this eighth from it's eighth of pancakes that I got from Valley Pure yesterday. A little bit of Flow Can of Gold from Northern California.
And right here, I got some Doty from the streets. Because I keeps it on that level.
Yep. This jar of pancakes, man, it's a nice little indica. You know what I'm saying? Nice, relaxing, really chill. Fucking when I smoke it and shit.
Yeah, see, I have a mystery. It just says Waikiki Queen is written on the bag. I don't know. I like that Valley Pure you can actually choose and specifically get. Like me, you guys know I'm a sativa kind of guy.
I mean, I like sativas during the day and sometimes, but indica, man, it's my thing. I would rather have a body high than a head high anyway. Even with shrooms, man, it's just like I don't really like the psychedelic trip. I just like not feeling anything after I take them. I'm addicted to not feeling pain. You know.
Yeah, me, I remember I would look at the most intricate thing or stuff that I could find and just let my mind unravel it and see if it can, like, I don't know, dude, I've seen some, like, kaleidoscope type shits.
Oh, man, the other night I was laying down, man, and I shut my eyes and I was seeing a lot of visuals, man, and it was like, kind of like looking through a kaleidoscope, but everything is black, and then, like, the lines are all, like, rainbow colored, and it was just, like, geometric shapes, and it was all in 3D, and I was just like, holy shit, what's going on? And, like, it kind of reminded me of, like, playing PlayStation 4 VR, you know? I felt like I just had a mask over my eyes, and I was just watching this shit.
See, there's no way you get even remotely 10% of that kind of a trip by aerosol spraying.
Oh, no, absolutely not. The only thing that I feel weird about, you know, the shroom nasal spray is that if it's synthesized by a lab, then how do you know they're not cutting it with something else that's going to fuck you up sooner or later down the road?
Just like how the carts game is gone.
Exactly.
Right?
You know? So I feel like it's just better for people to stay safe and just, you know, whether they grow their own shrooms naturally or, you know, they get them from somebody else.
They're going to be hard to trust, but you can grow them.
They are hard to trust. You can grow them yourself. It's not hard, you know.
It's not like making DMT.
Yeah, just get yourself some cow shit. But, yeah. No, I just get natural shit. Don't deal with trying to snort shrooms, man. Like, spores are bad in itself, and it's...
Sorry if you guys took that category out of literally, yeah. Nah. Okay, so the last episode we talked about a meme that was a King of the Hill live action
I recall.
rendition, right?
Yes.
And then I think the same night we did that episode, you showed me the new one.
Yeah, I did. I went home and I was on Facebook, man, and I saw it, and I felt the need to send it to you and be like, you know what, hey, let's just fucking talk about this shit too, because they're movies, man, and TV shows, everything. They're coming out with so many different reboots of everything, and how Disney's taking everything from cartoon to live action, and they're doing okay in some movies, doing poorly in others, and, you know, the best things they got going for them right now is fucking, what is it, Star Wars.
The Mandalorian right now is going on.
The Mandalorian. Avatar 2 is getting ready to come out, you know, and Disney's all over that shit. So it's...
But one property that they do not have any ownership of, Family Guy.
Very true. And I'm glad for that, because they'd fuck that show up.
Alright, so the meme has Cleveland is played by the guy who does Stanley in The Office, right? Mm-hmm. And then Charlie Sheen is Quagmire. That's pretty funny.
Oh, right.
And then, remember I was saying I kind of wanted to see, I think John Goodman could play Hank Hill. And then in this one, they actually had they had Peter Griffin played by John
Goodman. I don't think that's a good match.
I don't see it either, because he's like deep voiced, and Peter's a little fucking kid, like child, you know, like.
To be honest with you, I think a good Peter Griffin would be Dana Carvey in a fat suit.
I don't give a fuck. Dana Carvey can pull off pretty much anything.
That's what I'm saying. Master of disguise, bro.
Dude, yeah, he probably could actually do that well. No, I don't know who'd be a good one, but I do think I have to give it to the internet for this one. That little fat kid who goes around to all of the Comic Cons as Peter Griffin.
Yes.
I want to see that dude just straight up in the movie.
Absolutely.
Who else? Like,
yeah, he'd be great. But I mean, I think people are wanting to see like mainstream, like mainstream A-list
Jack Black.
actors. Absolutely.
Jack Black for fucking Peter Griffin 2020.
Yep. Hashtag.
I think he would love pulling that off, I think.
I would too. I did read something about Jack Black going into retirement after after this next film. They are coming out with what was it? Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny number 2. But it's not going to be like the Pick of Destiny, it's something completely different. But yeah, he was saying after Jumanji drops and everything,
it was so great.
After the newest one drops, he said that's probably going to be his last film, and he's going to retire. Obviously, I'm sure he's still going to do music. Him and Kyle Gass are probably still going to tour and do their thing, because they're supposed to actually be having a tour, Tenacious D, with Weezer and Foo Fighters coming up. And I'm actually really stoked about that, because I love Weezer. I absolutely love the fucking Foo Fighters. And Jack Black, Kyle Gass, Tenacious D, like, fuck yeah, man. You know? So, I'm pretty stoked for that concert, and I do hope they have California tour dates, because I would really like to go to that concert and just fucking have a great fucking time.
Alright, so you said that for Joe, I can't remember who.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I think.
Well, who did the meme have though? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I don't even think the meme had Joe in it. Did it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Did it? Oh.
I think Stanley could be a really good Cleveland though.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
That's funny. But yeah, you want it. I think his name is Wedderburn. Is for Joe's voice?
Yeah, I think the guy who voices Joe, who, you know, he was in Ted as well. I feel like he would play a really good Joe.
Why am I thinking that the meme had like John Cena?
You know what? John Cena would be good for Joe as well.
Funnier. You know what? He's actually really. Oh yeah, they did have King of Queens.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. Yeah, we were talking about that actually before the show, but damn, hey, I think John Cena would be funnier now.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because he's really, like, I've seen him on Saturday Night Live. He's got a good spirit about shit. He can make fun of himself, too.
Dude, and to be honest, John Cena is actually a pretty good actor. I like him better as an actor than I do at WWE. Bullshit, fake ass. Can't see me. You know what I mean? Like,
man, I do love those memes, though, where it's just, like, somebody standing next to John Cena, and they're like, they don't even know that they're standing next to him. They don't see him. It's fucking great. Okay, so we're going Jack Black as Peter. Mm-hmm. Let's think of a different one instead of Stanley for Cleveland then. Because I think he could do well, but Cleveland's also kind of corny campy. You got one?
I do. What's his name? Also in The Office.
Craig Robinson?
Yes, Craig Robinson.
I'll bet you, yeah, I think Craig Robinson could do
And
that,
at that
too.
one, I'd like to bring it to this. Just for the fucking hell of it. Okay? Seth Rogen.
God damn you.
Seth Rogen as Peter Griffin. James Franco as Quagmire. Craig Robinson as Cleveland. John Cena. Or, you know what? Not John Cena. Danny McBride as Joe. Right? And Jonah Hill as Chris Griffin.
Okay. And then you just get someone like ridiculous Scarlett Johansson as Lois. Like,
Yeah, somebody super just...
out of...
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because, alright, and I could see Scarlett Johansson doing that because, fucking Black Widow had red hair. Give her red hair, throw her in Family Guy. Why the fuck not? Makes absolute sense.
And then, I'm trying to think of the bartender. Who would be good for the bartender, dude?
Wait, which bartender? Jerome?
Jerome, the big tall black dude with the afro that fucking dicked down Lois. And Peter knows it but can't do anything. Like, what?
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, God. Boom, we have a movie now based completely inside of the clam. Like, that's the whole... Now, if The Rock is going to be part of it, he needs to be in, like, 75% of the fucking movie.
Yeah, right?
If we're paying him, we're paying him. That would be hella funny. I could see Dwayne Johnson fucking hitting on fine-ass Scarlett, too, right in front of Peter.
Right?
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be great.
God damn it, that's funny.
I think, Johnny Depp is Seamus.
Seamus is who again?
The pirate with
That is
peg arms and peg
all
legs.
the quadriplegic. Doesn't he
peg
have,
armed and legged
isn't
pirate.
he missing an eye too?
Yes, he is missing an eye. In fact, in one of the episode, he was missing both eyes. And he had 2 eye patches on.
Stupid. I'm trying to see if we can think of something. I mean, Stewie obviously will just be played by Hey Arnold. And then, trying to see... Oh, Meg. Okay, that's what we were talking about, is like a live-action movie.
Yeah, because
something.
Yeah, like, Mila Kunis has the voice. But it's like, alright, you're actually too attractive to be Meg.
Okay, fucking... She would kill it. Rebel Wilson. Actually, she always has that accent, huh?
Yeah.
She can't undo the Australian accent.
No, I don't think Rebel
She'd
Wilson
be a sick-ass Meg.
I think, I think, Anna Kendrick.
But she's cute, too.
Yeah, but that don't mean you can't make her look ugly.
Okay. Ugly duckling.
Yeah.
For Anna Kendrick.
Like... I think she could pull it off.
And then now, this is segues into our next story of, if you got the chance to remake any of the Twilight movies, who would you cast as the entire cast? Is it A, nobody and burn the script? B, destroy it? That movie doesn't need to be fucking remade.
Yeah, no, I wasn't really good in the first place. None of them at all
No.
were good. I mean, good for Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart for doing that lame-ass series and making money from it and getting into other films and shit.
Yep.
But...
I always liked them people on that hustle. I
yeah,
always
I mean,
liked that.
yeah, good for them. But, man, just, yes, as a fantasy book. Cool. You know what I mean?
Hold on, did we ever talk about him as Batman on this podcast yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking go on a tangent right now and say that despite me not liking those movies or anything and not necessarily liking him, I know that he sees DiCaprio as an icon of his. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a hero. And he straight up said that DiCaprio started off as, like, heartthrob shit, and then eventually now with Scorsese especially, all of those things
got
are
into
fire.
the deeper, darker things like the movie
and they're
Inception.
respected.
is one of my favorite movies. You know what I'm saying?
So if Pattinson takes acting serious, I feel like
does.
he could.
He does, and I think he does.
And he
You know what I
has
mean?
the
Because
Batman jaw.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fact that he got the role of Batman, I'm not sure if he's actually gonna don the suit in this film, because I was told that he's supposed to be more of like the detective side of Batman, you know. But yeah, I think that Robert Pattinson would be a good Batman. It's just as far as voice goes, that's what I'm concerned about. Is like when he's in that suit as Batman, what is his voice gonna be? Hello, I'm Batman. No.
I think he's got this. I actually think that he'll go like method acting. I think that he would probably go deep because he knows everybody wants to see him fail.
So in method acting, do you think he's gonna go and train with the League of Assassins and you
mean the real League of Assassins?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then just be a total badass, come back, just fucking bulk as fuck. Like
he's gonna request the training of Liam Neeson to be Raj or whatever.
After this, I'm gonna move to New York. And I'm gonna fight crime.
The way everybody clowns on Christian Bale for making that voice, and me, I'm just over here eating my popcorn like, yeah, that's perfect. That's what you would do. You use a fake voice.
I'm Batman.
You know? Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, why not?
That does make 100% sense to me.
Like, it's...
Sorry for that tangent. But.
No, it's a cool tangent. I like where you went with it, and I do think he's gonna be a decent Batman. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna be great, because I don't know.
Also, god damn it, I just want to see Danny DeVito now as Penguin again. He would crush it so hard. I'm gonna be honest with you, so hard.
They have been talking about a Batman Beyond live action film, and it is in talks that even though Michael Keaton doesn't want to come back as Batman, it's rumored that he is coming back as older Bruce Wayne. I'm cool with it.
I'm down with that.
I'm excited about it.
Excuse me,
but
1 second.
Because of that, I really hope they bring back Jack Nicholson
That'd be cool.
as an older Joker with, a younger Joker protege, if you will. Because if they do that, then fucking... it could go off on an even better kind of storyline, since the whole Batman Beyond story is that, for people that don't know, if you don't follow the comics, Bruce Wayne goes off, stops being Batman, shit like that. Some kid ends up finding the Batcave and becoming, the new Batman in a completely different suit as well. It's kind of like what they're doing on the CW right now with the whole Batwoman show where, Kate Kane, Batman's fucking cousin, whatever, and she finds out, becomes Batwoman, takes over and shit. But, yeah, man, Jack Nicholson, dude, I think was by far, besides Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson was, like, the Joker.
He was the perfect live-action comic book version. You know what I mean? Like, he was how the comic books were going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what he kind of looked like. But the thing is, if I remember, in Batman Beyond, the Jokers are a gang. The real Joker isn't there. They live on in his kind of name. Which, I did like the series. And then, I can't remember who did who first, but Spider-Man 2099 and the Batman Beyond suit, pretty much the same thing.
Very close.
They both got the little wings, they can fly, they can turn invisible, they shoot shit out of their wrists.
But what looks cooler? Batman Beyond suit or Spider-Man's?
The Batman Beyond suit is really cool because it's so simple. But the Spider-Man in 2099, like in video games and shit too. The future Spider-Man, Peter Parker makes some dope ass suits. Like there's like the Big Time or something. There's super sick where it looks like a Tron kind of suit. Mm-hmm. Well, so we set a 35-minute timer for every show, but we still have a whole topic that we're about to get deep in.
Yes.
But anyways, there's a lot of dope ass Spider-Man suits. I don't know if you've seen them, but I'm assuming you're going with Batman.
A long time ago, when I was younger, and I kind of followed the comic book and I had the action figures and stuff like that. They did have one of the Batman suits that was... it was kind of like the one that was in the Justice League movie.
Oh, the mech out one?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I remember...
oh, wait, that's Batman versus Superman that I was thinking of. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're thinking of, the armored up?
It's kind of like that,
that's fine.
which was in the very old cartoons that I used to watch. And, one of the action figures I had, it had the suit, and it detached from little pegs that you had to put together over the body,
That's tight.
Yeah, it came with a helmet. The cape was like a cloth cape, though. So it was like a limited edition.
Toys used to be sick.
Yeah, dude, it was super fucking dope. But, yeah, it's just...
I had this one of Batman. The cape was plastic, and it was like waving like he had to be posed a certain way. And he was like half cyborg or something. So if you put his head in front of the light, he had this red thing that would go through the light, and you could see through him.
I used to have one of those.
So unnecessary as hell.
Yeah, I had a.
It's funny.
I had a Wolverine one that his back would open, or not his back, his chest would open up, and you could put in a little disc into his chest, and then you turn it on, and it would shine a light through it, and it would have like an X-Men comic strip. Like, it was dope, dude.
I think I remember those.
Yeah, it was fucking sick. It was one of my favorite fucking toys, dude. It was like, I want to say it was about a foot tall fucking Wolverine in the yellow outfit, black fucking stripes.
The blue.
Yep.
Light blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Wolverine's look, if you couldn't have figured that one out on your own, straight up was supposed to be emulating how cool Batman's pointed ears look. They really did straight up rip. Actually, that should be a topic of how many Marvel characters are rip-offs of DC.
A lot, because DC was first.
They're so crazy. But anyways, on today's list of topics, the last one is the good old Mandela effect.
Alright, let's start off with the one that everybody knows. The one that everybody still talks about here and there.
I really feel like you should do the namesake first, but I know where you're going.
What do you mean?
Why it's called the Mandela effect?
Well, if they don't know why it's called the Mandela effect...
I have a feeling now you don't. Do you?
I mean, I know what the Mandela effect is.
No, but why it's named after him.
I don't know why it's named after him.
Okay, so he got released from prison one day. And everyone's like, what the he already died. I remember watching his funeral a long time ago. And people were confused about that. That's like the original.
Oh, the original.
That's for the reasoning of the name.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you for that information.
So they say people are thinking his funeral was actually a birthday or something that he celebrated in there. And that's what they remember. They just remembered it wrong.
Probably.
Who knows?
It happens, though. I mean... We got a lot of stuff going on in our daily lives and shit, so, when I was a little kid, like I said, I'm going to touch base on this one.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's the movie Kazam and the movie Shazam. One of which, Shaquille O'Neal was a genie.
That's Kazam.
Thank you. And the other one, Sinbad.
Which doesn't exist.
Which everybody swears doesn't exist. But I remember watching it as a kid.
Okay.
My brother does. A whole bunch of other people do.
So here's the other thing that I've experienced when I ran into people like you. I don't remember a movie called Shazam, but I do remember watching enough of that horrific movie to know it's a little boy, in Kazam, I mean with Shaq, that it's a little boy, I think he goes up in the attic, he finds the lamp, and he has a genie. And in this Shazam movie that doesn't exist, everyone says it's like a brother-sister, like it's two kids. And they have a completely, it's not even the same story and people are thinking Shaq and Sinbad mixing them up. It's a
completely different story. Because it was about a little boy and a little girl who lived in kind of a broke-up household. They were poor, all of that type of shit. And one day they go to the playground or something, and this is what I just remember, you know. They go to the playground or something, and that's when they find whatever it is that Sinbad, the genie, comes out of or whatever. I think it was like a basketball or some shit. I don't remember. But I remember there being a part where like Sinbad was in their kitchen, like cooking them breakfast, and he was wearing like fucking slacks, glasses, a vest, white collared shirt, you know, like looking like the pristine house dad. Like, you know, I remember that shit.
Time to clean the Chihuahua's shit out in the
right,
backyard.
and a bunch of other people remember this same fucking shit. You know what I mean?
There's a video of Sinbad straight up being like, man, I never did that. Like, that wasn't...
Check this out. What if he did do it, right? But what ended up happening was some weird conspiracy, governmental Illuminati bullshit where they got rid of every single known copy of that film, swore Sinbad to secrecy. It was just like, if anybody asks you, you never made this movie. It doesn't exist.
Man, now I'm looking at this video that says Sinbad confesses Shazam movie was real. His deadly confession. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, there's this one that, look at this very first one. Oops. Yeah, it went away now.
Oh, it's okay.
There was something where he did like a skit dressed as a genie, not called Shazam though, and that's why I really don't know. I don't remember.
I'm just saying, man.
Ever seeing anything.
But I do remember that, like vividly, man.
I can't really think of any. Like, I have naturally.
Here we go. Let me throw this at you really quickly. How do we know that it isn't some fucking aliens, right? Fucking came down here while we were sleeping, started zapping our heads full of shit, like for an experiment.
All right, I got an impromptu factor baked for you right now. Factor baked that somewhere in the middle of nowhere, like in a desert, there was a fucking big asshole filled up with a horrible E.T. game, like off of the movie. It was a video game for like a Nintendo that sold so horribly.
I remember the E.T. Nintendo game.
So it sucks. Mm-hmm. It's so bad.
It was terrible.
They straight up fucking destroyed them.
I've played it.
Like, is it not related to the movie at all? So he's in a subway train the whole movie.
It's more of like...
When was there a subway?
It's more of like... Alright, so Super Nintendo had like the Power Rangers game, right? And fucking... You'd be a certain Power Ranger, and 2D, you're running across.
The platforms.
And then, you gotta fight little enemies, you got little platforms here and there, whatever. It was like that, but it starts out like at the house where E.T.'s found by Elliot, and then it turns into them running through town, getting on the bikes, getting like to the forest, and then sending E.T. off. It was a terrible fucking game. It took all of like 2 hours to fucking beat. Like, it was terrible. You know what I mean? And I don't know anybody that still has a copy of it. You know, I'm sure there are still copies of it floating around. But I did hear about that, the big hole out in the desert that they filled with those games and covered it up and all that shit.
Yeah, that is real.
I've heard about it, never seen it, never been there.
Yeah.
You know, but...
The epic E.T. video game landfill of New Mexico or whatever.
I feel like at that point they would have just taken and incinerated all of it.
It's probably cheaper to bury it.
Maybe. Or maybe they were environmentally conscious and they were
by
like...
littering it?
They were like, hey, fuck burning it because all that... You know, bad shit from the plastic and, you know, the motherboards that are in it and shit fucking fuck up our ozone layer. Not like we don't fuck it up enough already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's but yeah, no, I did hear about that, but I didn't know it was a real thing. I'm sure it is.
So back to Mandela effect, how Potato was talking about on the Smoke Circle page group. He was saying the Statue of Liberty. Now I either don't remember that one, or I don't remember ever hearing about that, where they said that the Statue of Liberty was on a different island.
Yeah.
And then also that people claim to have been up to where the torch is, even though they stopped allowing people to do that before fucking World War One.
Yeah, I do remember them stopping people, from going up into the torch because it was dangerous. Like, a few people, had died. Like, I guess they had, fallen off of it or whatever, and they ended up dying. And so they stopped letting people go up there, and they only let people go up into the head. But there was a smaller statue that was similar to the Statue of Liberty that was on Ellis Island for some time. But then it was taken out. I can't remember what the reasoning was, but it had gotten taken out. And the French gave America the Statue of Liberty as a gift.
Yeah, all in pieces too. It's crazy.
Well, they had to ship it in pieces.
They built it.
Yeah, because the thing is so fucking massive. You know what I mean?
If you guys don't know what the Statue of Liberty looks like, go ahead and Google it. We'll wait. For anyone who has no idea.
But, yeah. So the French. Sorry about that. The French gave us, the Statue of Liberty. They put it on Liberty Island. And that's where it's been for the longest fucking time now. But there was 2 statues. At least that's what I've heard. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. But, things like the Bernstein Bears they talk about, too.
I used to have those books.
That one, I don't remember, because I remember when I was growing up learning a lot of things that were wrong. Like, I before E, but not after C. And then coming across numerous words where that rule doesn't count. So I feel like I might have said Berenstein knowing that it was spelled differently, or I said it a certain way knowing that that's not actually how it looks. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have that memory of being like, oh, well, I don't know why we say it like that when it's actually Baron.
I thought it was B-E-A-R, like bear.
Like phonetically or spelled like that?
Like spelled like that. Bearstein. Bears.
It's just B-E-R, right?
I believe so, yeah. But, yeah, man, that's some crazy shit. The Mandela effect, dude. I don't know.
Parallel universes. That's what they say.
Dude, you know how I feel about parallel universes and multiverse theory. All of that shit. I love that shit. Which, I kind of want to talk about that on the next episode.
So Mandela effect is essentially glitches in the Matrix, which I don't want to talk about the Matrix with you ever again.
Yeah, we'll stay away from the Matrix from now on.
That rabbit hole.
Yeah, right. Better talk about Alice in Wonderland. That rabbit hole.
Man.
But yeah, no. On the next episode, man, I would love to talk about fucking your thoughts on parallel universes.
I mean, I feel like we're doing it right now, though.
I mean, a little bit, but it's more Mandela effect. I want to go more in depth.
I don't really have much more. It's more like you can't. If you can travel back into time, you wouldn't be able to come back. You're just stuck in your own universe. I feel like if time travel is possible, it's going backwards, and then you would start a new parallel
There was
universe.
a movie.
That's pretty much it.
There was a movie that came out, and for the love of God, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was called Two Earths or something like that, and it was about a parallel Earth coming down to Earth, and doppelganger type shit. If you could ever find that movie, check it out.
Yeah.
It's sick as fuck.
I'm sorry, I don't have the. I don't know who that is.
I think that's Dr. Dank.
Well, he said he's on his way?
Yeah, I think he's here.
Oh.
But, yeah. Also, for the next episode, let's see. Parallel universes, and, as well. Weed in space.
And, as well.
Yeah, and, as well. Weed in space. Parallel universes, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. What? Weed in space?
Yeah.
What?
What did I just walk in on?
Yeah, a lot of crazy shit. We're recording right now. Say hi to the people, Dr. Dank.
What's happening, y'all?
Yeah.
What topic did I just walk in on?
You walked in on the Mandela effect.
Yeah, do
and
you have anything to add?
Yeah.
Do you
What have
know
you guys covered so I don't repeat?
Shazam, Kazam, Statue of Liberty.
the actual reason for being called Mandela off after Nelson Mandela?
I mean, the only one that I can really say that you haven't brought up is like the Bernstein Bears.
Sorry, we did.
We did.
Okay, so never mind. Now I sound like a jackass.
Nope.
Well,
We didn't list it.
fucking
That was
outta
our
here.
bad.
Fucking out of here. That's it.
But yeah, so
You know what? There was one. There's another one that you didn't say that's like I'm trying to think of the name, but
I know there was one I thought about as well, and I can't fucking remember it either. It always fucking happens for some
Son
reason.
of Beach.
This is what's gonna happen. Is the next episode? Then we'll have a callback or something.
Yes.
Like in a future episode, look
I mean,
for a callback to the Mandela
That's
effect.
kind of what I did last time.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole
We will talk
story.
more about the Mandela effect when
Comparing
we
gifts.
remember this shit.
Sweet.
But yeah, stay tuned for the next episode where we are gonna have a spacey episode and talk about parallel universes and weed in space. What?
I mean, for the end, it's all that matters.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a great show.
I'll be sure to be here for that one. Leaving the space, I gotta talk to
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. So, but yeah, stay tuned, check back, make sure to check out our Facebook page, join the CannaBase Smoke Circle for tips and updates and all that good fun stuffs.
And don't forget to all you cool cats out there, stay lit.
Gotta bring it back.
Alright, well, drink the Kool-Aid.